Welcome back to Arsenal News TV, and today we are going to look at the 4 latest Arsenal news. The first Arsenal news is that Sky Sports journalist Domesh Sheth has confirmed an Arsenal update, as he confirms what he's just heard about Declan Rice to Arsenal, as Arsenal look to complete the signing of World Cup England international and West Ham United midfielder Declan Rice. Domesh Sheth claims that West Ham United are ready to sign off on a deal for Declan Rice to officially join Arsenal this afternoon. The journalist has been speaking on Sky Sports News and provided an update. On Rice's proposed switch to North London, Arsenal seem to be one step away from landing their top summer transfer target after agreeing a £105 million deal with West Ham for Rice. The Gunners have already moved to snap up Kai Havertz from Chelsea, but many fans eagerly await an official Rice announcement. CBS Sports journalist Ben Jacobs claimed just last week that Rice was set to undergo his medical at London Colney on Friday. Now, it seems an official announcement could be imminent, as Sheth claims West Ham are ready to sign the contract. Speaking on Sky Sports News today, Sheth claims that Arsenal are hoping to have Rice officially on board before they set off for their pre-season tour of the USA. As for Declan Rice, he's now finalising that £105 million move from West Ham United to Arsenal, and it's hoped everything with Rice will be sorted within time for him to fly to the USA ahead of their pre-season tour, and they fly out on Sunday. The journalist said, "We're told this afternoon that West Ham are ready to sign the contract that will allow Declan Rice to become an Arsenal player officially. They are just waiting for the Arsenal lawyers, we're told, just to read through the fine print of that contract before it all gets signed off. But I've said it before with transfers like this deal is like when and not if, and it looks like it's going to be this week." Arsenal look set to announce deals for Jurrien Timber and Rice over the coming days, which will signal an encouraging start to the summer window for Arteta. The Gunners missed out on the Premier League title last time out due to a lack of depth, but they have already addressed some key areas of the pitch. As for Rice, the signing will be a huge statement of intent from Arsenal. Barring a complete disaster, the Gunners will break the British transfer record to land the Hammers skipper. The 24-year-old was also chased by the likes of Bayern Munich and Manchester City, but is keen on a switch to North London. Of course, negotiations with West Ham proved tough, but the two clubs reached an agreement on payment structure last week. The second Arsenal news is that Ben Jacobs has confirmed an Arsenal update, as he confirms one to watch: Arsenal more likely to target incredible player than £86 million star this summer, as Arsenal look to complete the signing of Belgium international and Southampton midfielder Romeo Lavia. Journalist Ben Jacobs has admitted that he cannot see Aurelien Tchouameni ending up at Arsenal this summer, suggesting that Romeo Lavia is the player to keep an eye on if Thomas Partey departs in this window. Jacobs was speaking on the Football Terrace following speculation that Arsenal are admirers of the Real Madrid star. Arsenal have been linked with both Aurelien Tchouameni and Romeo Lavia in this window. Of course, a deal for the Frenchman would be an unbelievable statement of intent from Mikel Arteta's men. Jacobs was asked about the possibility of Tchouameni potentially making the move to Arsenal this summer, and the journalist suggested that the Belgian is a much more likely addition if the Gunners target another midfielder in this window. "I just don't think Tchouameni will be available in the market. I know we hear a lot of rumours about him, but ultimately Real Madrid like the player, and there's no reason for them to sacrifice a player like Tchouameni to get Mbappé funds, as you say. They feel they can just get Kylian Mbappé at the end of the season," he told the Football Terrace. "And as a consequence, I don't see Tchouameni coming to the Premier League this window. I think from Arsenal's point of view, it's very possible that they add another midfielder, especially if Thomas Partey goes. And he does have an offer on the table from Saudi Arabia. At the moment, he hasn't indicated that he's going to go for that. There's a few European clubs looking at him as well. But because Granit Xhaka went to Bayer Leverkusen, then Thomas Partey, if he goes too, Arsenal will free up that midfield to bring in one more. And I think, rather than Tchouameni, it's probably Romeo Lavia that might be one to watch." Arsenal fans must have known that a move for Tchouameni was always going to be difficult to pull off. He is a huge talent, already impressing for two of the best teams in world football right now at club and country level, and the Gunners have certainly spent big money already. So flirting with their transfer record once again to sign Tchouaméni was always going to be a big ask. Lavia is going to be considerably cheaper. Jacobs went on to note that Arsenal are amongst the sides who feel that he should cost little more than £40 million. Lavia is an incredible talent in his own right. And he is only going to get better in the years to come. So he would definitely have the potential to be an outstanding signing if Arsenal made their move. The third Arsenal news is that Charles Watts has confirmed an Arsenal update. As he confirms, journalist says Arsenal may sign skillful player today. It's not Rice, as Arsenal look to complete the signing of World Cup Netherlands international and AFC Ajax defender Jurrien Timber. Arsenal are set to announce two very exciting signings in the coming days. Indeed, by all accounts, deals to sign both Declan Rice and Jurrien Timber are all but done, and while neither deal has been announced yet, it appears to just be a matter of time before both players join. According to Charles Watts, speaking on Inside Arsenal, Timber is set to sign before Rice, with the journalist claiming that the Dutch defender could officially join Arsenal at some point in the next 24 hours. Watts shared what he knows about the skillful defender. Let's talk about the state of play with those two. Jurrien Timber is the player we're expecting to be announced first out of those two. Potentially sometime in the next 24 hours, maybe tomorrow. Watts said, there is some frustration around why this hasn't been announced yet, but we are expecting it to happen pretty soon. There is a chance that he may even link up with the squad in Germany. It may seem a bit silly to get hung up on the exact dates a player signs, but getting a deal over the line as soon as possible is helpful. Indeed, as Watts says, if Timber is signed tomorrow, there's a chance he can link up with his teammates at the earliest possible juncture and he can get to grips with Mikel Arteta's tactics and gel with the squad more quickly. For all the talent Timber has, if he doesn't know how to play in this system with these players, he'll be of no use to Arsenal, so getting him signed quickly is vital. Luckily, it looks as though we may just be hours away from this being a done deal. The final Arsenal news is that Graham Bailey has confirmed an Arsenal update. As he confirms, like him a lot, Arsenal are really interested in spectacular 23-year-old Emery Wants at Villa, as Arsenal look to complete the signing of World Cup Spain international and Barcelona attacker Ferran Torres. Journalist Graham Bailey has suggested that Arsenal are continuing to monitor Ferran Torres, with Barcelona keen to move the forward on during the summer transfer window. Bailey was speaking on the Talking Transfers podcast, as he also suggested that Unai Emery would like to take the Spaniard to Aston Villa on a permanent deal. Barcelona would reportedly like to sell Ferran Torres this summer. The 23-year-old has been an underwhelming signing for the Catalan Giants. He only scored 4 goals for Xavi's side in La Liga last season. It will surprise some that he has struggled at Camp Nou. He previously looked an exciting talent with Manchester City, and he left having scored 16 goals in 43 games for the Citizens. That may explain why there is plenty of interest in the forward from the Premier League. In fact, Bailey suggested that Mikel Arteta would be very keen to be reunited with Torres, having worked with him at Eastlands. Torres is the odd man out. He really isn't fitting in there. And there is interest in England. Arsenal are keeping a watching brief. They like him a lot. We know Mikel Arteta worked with him at Manchester City. He told Talking Transfers, Newcastle like him. But Villa are the interesting ones. They'd take him on a permanent deal if they could. But the major sticking point here, Torres does not want to leave Barcelona. He's just saying no. He's simply just not having it. Arsenal are surely going to look to strengthen their attacking options further before the window shuts. Obviously, their priorities have been elsewhere in the early stages of the summer. The Gunners do have Reiss Nelson knocking on the door. The youngster was very bright when he got game time in the latter stages of last season, but the demands of the campaign certainly took their toll on Bukayo Saka. The England international started to look jaded towards the business end. And it is surely fair to say that he was not able to have anything like the same impact as he had had in the first half of the season. Arsenal are going to be back in the Champions League next year, and expectations are now much higher. So signing someone to rival Saka seems imperative. Torres is a spectacular talent, so it would be a statement to sign him. But clearly, there is work to be done before anyone convinces the player to leave Barca this summer. Do you know the Arsenal news on the latest Arsenal training session? You will enjoy this video on your screen too.